Hey nerds, Alex here from Nerds Being Geeks, and I just recently won our quarter one championship at my GLC league. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the video, please excuse if the camera gets bumped or moved around. My rig kind of broke. I need to order a new one. So if the camera's moving or sliding around, I apologize for that. So I am very fortunate that I am able to go to two GLC leagues. They're both about 50 minutes away from me. And it's just incredible, and I'm so thankful because I spent like 2 years just playing GLC at my kitchen table with my wife and my friends. So to actually just have a league where I can go to and play with other people, it's just been awesome. So one of those leagues has decided to kind of do their open invitational quarterly. So that lets people rotate through decks a little bit more frequently. Most players only have 3 or 4 decks. Allows those players to, at least get one badge, enter it, and they can reset and play the deck type again, at least more frequent. Because like if you only have 3 decks and say you win with Psychic, and to wait like a whole year to get another badge with Psychic, people are going to lose interest, at least where I'm at. This isn't full grip games, so I feel like a nice rotation of quarterly is pretty cool. And the Open Invitational is just like at Full Grip, where if you win a badge throughout the season, you can enter the tournament with one of the types that you won with. Confuse my 2 leagues quite often, and I'm trying to think of what decks I won with. I won with Dragon, and I won with Lightning, and I can't remember if I won anymore, honestly. But I took Dragon to the Invitational, and I won. This Dragon deck has really been coming together. I'm not going to do a super deep dive. I'll run through some of the cards. I've already done 2 videos on this deck. There's been a little upgrade, adding the new Rayquaza, but man, there's not too much more I can talk about with this. But I play the Garchomp line with the Sonic Slip ability, the Haxorus with the Bring Down the Axe. If your opponent has any special energy attached, it is knocked out. Dragon Pulse for 230. I have to discard 2 cards. The Dragonite with the Jet Cruise. Your Pokemon in play have no retreat cost, which is perfect for Rayquaza. 2 energy, 180 damage. The Rayquaza with 2 energy, it does 20 damage, and then another 90 if it just comes into play that turn. Raging Bolt with lightning and fighting, and you can 30 damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. And you're kind of seeing a pattern here with these Pokemon there's 2 patterns. All of my attacking Pokemon are 2 energy or less. Super easy to power up with cards like Crispin, and that is super easy to power up with cards like Crispin or Giovanni's Charisma. Both allow you to double energy attach, and then there's cards like Counter Energy and Double Dragon. All can lead to double energy attachments for your turn. Rayquaza only needs 2, Garchomp only needs 2, Haxorus needs 2, Dragonite needs 2, and Thunderburst technically only needs 2, but the more you add to it, the stronger it gets. I mean, even a Dracloak, if you have to attack with it, is only 2 energies as well. The heart and soul of this deck, like I've said before, is this Dragon Claw Gabite. Lets you search out some dragon Pokemon. And then with the new addition of this Dragonair, it does the same exact thing, except it only searches out evolutionary Pokemon, and it has to have an energy attached. But guess what? You're going to want to power this thing up anyway, so I mean, you are pulling a lot of Pokemon from your deck. with these search abilities, and if you want to evolve up one of them and attack while the other one stays on the bench and keeps searching out Pokemon, that's a great strategy. You have the support with Dracloak and the Recon Directive ability, very popular card in Standard and in GLC. So let's go through some of the trainers. Mysterious Treasure, Versus Seeker, Tag Call, Superior Energy Retrieval, Ultra Ball, Evolutionary Incense, Level Ball. Rainbow Paintbrush allows you to take a basic energy in your hand, put it into your deck, and then search your deck for another basic energy. And I feel like that is a really good card when you're playing 4 different basic energy cards, or 4 different basic energy types, I should say. So maybe you really need a lightning energy and you don't have one, you don't have a special energy, you don't have any lightning in your hand, you play that card, you can get rid of the metal, go find the lightning, and you're on your way. You can also play Field Blower, Hisuian Heavy Ball, Professor's Letter, Pokepad, Special Charge, Rare Candy, Nest Ball, and Escape Rope. Now when it comes to stadiums, I play Training Court, which is really good when one of your Pokemon's knocked out, or if you haven't noticed already, all of my Stage 2 attacking Pokemon, all of their attacks, discard cards from your own deck. And if you discard some energy, Training Court is a good way to recover some of that. Stormy Mountains to kind of open up your boards, find some of those basic Pokemon. When it comes to tools, I have Lux Cape, Muscle Band, and Float Stone. Supporters, I play Boss's Order, Giovanni's Charisma. Doesn't see a ton of play, but I think it's a really good card. It can put one of the energy cards that's attached to your opponent's active, puts it back into your opponent's hand, and then you get to attach an energy to your active Pokemon. So, for instance, an Okidogi, put that special energy back into your opponent's hand. Yes, you would like it to be in the discard pile, however, that might not be an option that turn. You might not be able to hit those numbers that you need to, which you definitely can't in Dragon unless you're swinging with Haxorus. So you put that special energy back into their hand, turns off their ability, boom, they're back down to 130, and you can knock it out pretty easy from there. Hilda, since this is definitely an evolving deck, and being able to search out any special energy, really great card to accelerate your board. Arvin, Lana's Aid for that recovery. Chorus Tenacity, same thing. Clara for that recovery.
All right, yeah, my rig officially broke down and camera overheated, so I'm just going to use my hand for the rest of this. Kind of blaze through these supporters. Yeah, so definitely need more recovery. Maybe like a super rod or something. But I have Crispin to get the dual energy attachments for my 2 energy attackers, and to help with some of these energy costs being all over the place. Gladion, obviously. Raihan, Lily's Determination, Lusamine, Lance, Guzmahala, Iono, the Blend Energy, Aurora Energy, Double Dragon Energy, and Colorless Energy. Alright, so that is my league winning badge, but I'm going to cut to some photos real quick. Alright, yeah, so my rig is broken, but luckily I have a few pictures from Open Invitational that my league had at Sleeved Up. And over the last few months, I've been talking to Spence over at Team Turbo Blaze. Really cool GLC content. If you haven't watched them, go follow their YouTube channel. They do GLC tournaments like every week. Really great stuff. Great for the GLC community. And they always attend the 3K events at Full Grip. Go check out Team Turbo Blaze. Spence actually lives fairly close to me. And so he was looking for a league to go to because a lot of his stuff is through webcam. And he was able to finally show up to Sleeved Up Games in Toledo, Ohio. But he showed up on the day that we were doing the Invitational. And this was his first time at the league, so he didn't have a badge. He couldn't enter the tournament. However, we had enough people to still run like a small tournament while the other players were in the Invitational. I'm going to be honest with you, the Invitational was, oh God, it feels like it was maybe 2 months ago or so. I'm so far behind on filming. So I couldn't even tell you who I played against in the tournament, but the point of this, Spence was able to make it. I got to talk with him, and it was really cool to be able to talk to a GLC player that's so prominent in the GLC community. You know, a lot of these things happen, through Discord or webcams. And here's a few pictures of Spence playing at Sleeved Up GLC League, and he actually won that night. And here's pictures of me during the Invitational that I won with my Dragon deck. So after the tournament, we were talking strategy, talking decks. He was going through some of my decks that I brought, and he noticed that my Hop's Choice ban was just the plain Jane one, and he asked if I wanted the league stamped Cosmic Foil hollow pattern one that he had an extra of. And I was like, that'd be incredible. I love those hollow patterns. I love stamps. And I love to bling out my decks. So yeah, totally was stoked to get that card. And I actually asked Spence to sign it. And signing cards is really popular in the GLC Turbo Blaze community. So I finally was able to get a signed card from one of the Turbo Blazers. But he saw that I won with Dragon, and he asked me to sign his Raging Bolt, which is incredible. That is such a staple in Dragon decks that it meant a lot to me. I think that's really cool. And for winning the tournament, we have someone that does these like laser lettering crafts, which is really cool. And we're able to get the sleeved up coaster. Really solid coaster, and you never can have too many of those, especially when you have all these Pokemon cards hanging out. So I was able to win this. Won Sleeved Up's first GLC Invitational, and I actually won Sleeved Up's first badge ever given out, both with Dragon deck. So that's really cool. All right, everyone, that was my Invitational winning GLC deck. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate Spence over at Turbo Plays showing up, winning a badge, coming into my territory, and winning a badge. It was great. And for letting me sign the card, it was awesome. Appreciate you, Spence. Appreciate Team Turbo Blaze for everything they do for the GLC community. And I appreciate you guys watching. So I'll see you in the next one.